Hey y'all, it's Betsy from Cuttin Corners Vinyl. And over here, I like to focus on all things vinyl, sublimation, and screen printing. I don't focus on perfection because without mistakes, how else are you supposed to learn anything? I have over 15 years of professional experience, if you want to call it that. So you might see things done a little bit differently over here than what you're used to seeing them done. I'm also extremely honest about affiliate links and when products are sent to me. So if that sounds like something you're into, then you might want to stick around and think about joining the Cuttin Corners family. If not, you might want to buzz on because my honeybees have a real sting to them. So, today's video, I am super excited to be talking about because we have a new product. It's from Specialty Materials, which y'all know is like my all-time favorite brand, and it is the Thermaflex ColorUp. Now, I've been playing with this behind the scenes for quite a while. Now, Specialty did send this to me, and you know, as I said before, I am all about being completely upfront about whenever products are sent, but all of the thoughts and opinions in this video are my own. This isn't sponsored. Now, what I think is so cool about this is, now, this shirt right here, this was printed on an inkjet printer. Now, if you take a look at it, now this one was printed, as I said, on an inkjet. This is already been washed and dried. Looks good, doesn't it? I think it looks amazing. I'm looking in the monitor so I can kind of see, because whenever you're in these lights, this can kind of look a little bit washed out. Okay. This is the same print. Okay. This was printed on a laser jet. Same material. Kind of cool, huh? Now I'm gonna blow your mind even more. This is the same material. This was hand drawn. This is Sharpie with acrylic paint pen. And then I cut this out by hand and applied it with a hand iron. You want to learn a little bit more? I bet you do. Now, we're going to get into all the tech specs, the sizes, how to cut it, how it washes, all that kind of stuff. Because as I said, I've been playing with it. I'll go over what I have found works on the material, what I have found doesn't. Now, don't worry, this isn't going to be the only video I do over this because I have tons of different paints and markers and things like that. So we're going to continue to play with the ColorUp because I think that this is something that's going to definitely be a game changer because you can do this whether you have a printer or not. You can do this whether you have a heat press or not. You can play with this no matter what you have. And I think that that is so awesome. And I'm going to dedicate at least a video, I think, a week to it, and we're going to definitely play with it, like more so with like the inkjet, more so with the laser. But this week's video is just going to kind of be an overview over the basics of it, kind of a speed through over some of the different materials that I have played with on it, the basic applications, how it washed, all of that kind of stuff, because I think that's the important parts of it. So if you want to see all of that, stick around. I'm going to start off with the technical information behind the Thermaflex ColorUp. Now, while I'm doing that, you get to enjoy some of the different ways that I tested out this new material. Now, don't worry, I've got plenty of ways to test this out because if you've seen any of my office tours, you know I have a slight issue with markers, paints, pens, that type of thing. This comes in A4 sheets, which are 8.27 by 11.69. So this is a little bit different than your standard 8.5 by 11 inch sheet. The acceptable fabrics for this are cotton, uncoated polyester fabric blend. This does exclude nylon and textiles with a hydrophobic impregnation are not suitable for heat transfer, as well as sublimation dye. The thickness of this is 0.16 microns plus or minus 5%. It's about the standard thickness of most of your inkjet or laserjet printables that are a white material. It is heat sealable, paintable, and printable polyurethane vinyl. You can put it on light, you can put it on dark, whatever you want to put it on. You can print ThermoFlex ColorUp in all current inkjet and laser printers. So all current models it works in, which is awesome because you don't have to buy a separate material for your inkjet, for your laserjet. It will just work with them all. You can use it in your Cricut, you can use it in your Silhouette. When I used it with my Cricut, I just used it on regular heat transfer. On my Silhouette, I cut it on heat transfer smooth, I think is the setting I use. For a special precaution, it is recommended that with your printer, whether it be a laserjet or an inkjet, to test this out, let it set and wash it before you try to sell anything with it on there, because different printers, different inks will depend on the wearability and the durability of your design. Not all inks are created equal. Depending on the manufacturer and all that, it may depend on the longevity. Always do test. And Specialty is linked in the description box. You can get samples of this, which is always something I recommend doing. They will gladly send you out samples, which is something that I absolutely love. You can always try before you buy. Ordering a sample, try it out, see what you think, because again, you can use this with whatever printer that you have. And even if you don't have a printer, you can try it. You can apply it with a home iron, with it all. After you press it, you want to wait 24 hours before washing it. If you do paint on your vinyl, let your paint set on your vinyl for 24 hours before you heat set it onto your shirt, and then let your vinyl set on shirt for 24 hours before you wash it. When you go to apply it, it is recommended that you use the TM850 transfer mask. The settings for whenever you're applying the vinyl this is all going to be cut right reading 320 degrees, medium pressure. If you're using a heat press, you're going to peel it warm, wash on normal. You're going to tumble dry. You don't want to dry it hot. I applied this with the home iron on the cotton settings, and it's going to depend on your home iron. Now, the main issues that I had with my design with this bee, not letting it sit for the 24 hours. One, the acrylic paint didn't have enough time to really fully cure. The Sharpie didn't stay perfectly into the acrylic paint is where I had issues. But you can see on the transfer mask as I'm lifting it, you can see how there's some of the coloring from the Sharpie not being set perfectly well on there, and you can see the acrylic paint lifting as well on the transfer mask. But this is why I did this. I didn't want this to be set perfectly. We don't want it always to be done exactly right. But I will show you what it looks like. The black on this side and the yellow on the side is really not that noticeable, but it's noticeable to me. But other than that, as you can see, it looks great. And as I said, that's washed and dried and applied with the hand iron. This one is the Inkjet printable, and I always do a double heat. It doesn't seem to have affected anything, the longevity or anything like that. It washed and dried great. This one is the full-on acrylic paint on that watercolor. The print stayed well. The canvas, tan colored canvas, washed and dried, did not stay that great. The Crayola markers washed out really bad. So I would say this about whenever you're doing anything with this material, when we're talking about washable inks, anything like that, washable means it's going to wash out whenever you're putting it on this material. Canvas bags or anything like that that are going to shrink on you, I would kind of stay away from as well with this material because it just does not like it. It didn't do that great on, as you can tell with this tan bag, it just doesn't look the best. Whether it be laser or inkjet does amazing. Acrylic paint look great. Watercolor, it did fine. I'm going to test this a little bit more. It's kind of hard to tell because this bag did so terribly whenever it washed and dried. I'm going to show you two different shirts that say "Don't Kill My Buzz." The one that doesn't have the black outline all the way around, I think 6 or 7 times by now. As far as coloring, that kind of thing, you can see that it's lasting. It's washing well through the washing machine. Now, if you look at the other shirt that says "Don't Kill My Buzz." Now, the only reason I'm showing you this one is because this one had some pretty off cuts. What happens whenever you have like the cuts that are showing? Where if your material does get cracked, what would happen? And I'm also going to keep doing this because I want to keep washing it and seeing if the material is going to crack further on places that it doesn't have cracks, like where it's got the bigger areas of black, what it will look like if it does crack further or starts to crack on its own in those areas. This is definitely a game changer as far as home printable goes, because this is something that you can keep around that would definitely replace having an inkjet light, an inkjet dark, a laser jet light, a laser jet dark. This is something that you can have around that you can pretty much, it's an all-in-one. And I really like the way that it feels. It looks nice. I would definitely say if you're interested in something like this to try it out. And even if you don't have a plotter or a Cricut or a Silhouette, you can order a sample and try it out just to make by hand. Like, as I said, you can see what I did with it by hand. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I guess that's it for today's video, but I love you guys, and I will see y'all later. And I will put both the Don't Kill My Buzz and the Today's a Good Day on Patreon if y'all want to have it. But I guess that's it, and we will see y'all later. Bye.